I'm Sean. Say hi, Sean. Hi, Sean. We'll try it one more time. So, hi, you guys. I'm Sean.
Hi, Sean.
I feel like I'm in an AA meeting. I'm Sean, and I'm a speaking addict. Hi, Sean. Okay, so, you guys think I was bullied, or I was the one bullying people? You were bullied. That sucks. That hurts. Okay, so yeah, I was bullied since I was 6 years old. What city do you guys live in? Does anybody here live in North Hollywood? I love you and you already. That's where I live. You live in North Hollywood? Honestly? Alright, cool. Alright. For the people that know their streets, you guys know where Whitshead and Oxnard is? Yeah? No? Okay, you know where. You okay? So, I live on Whitshead and Oxnard. I really hope you guys don't start slacking. That'd be a little weird, but so yeah, I live on Whitshead and Oxnard. And have you guys heard of the stories about Whitshead and Oxnard? Do you know what's happening there? Does anybody know? No? Okay. Well, when you're driving down that street, just driving by, like you're like, oh, you know, it's nice, it's okay, it doesn't look bad. But if I've lived there 17 years, basically my whole life. I'm 19. I've lived there for 17 years, and it's really not the best place to live, just because of all the drugs and all the gang activity that used to be there. And between 04 and 08, those were like the worst years. That's when I was in middle school still. That's when most of the drive-bys have happened, most of the shootings have happened, the drug bust, all that type of stuff. And so, if I didn't tell you guys that, where would you guys think I lived? Just by looking at me.
Malibu.
Yeah.
When I went to Grand, they were like, yeah, you live in Beverly Hills. I was like, no. And then somebody said Hollywood, and I was like, yeah, like the north part of Hollywood. Like, it's a little bit different. Just a little bit different. Now, so yeah, I basically, okay, my mom and dad split when I was 2. And who's here been to East Side Palmdale? East Side of Palmdale. Yeah? Okay, so you know there's like no white people there, basically, right? Have you seen? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm white, dude. Now, someone trying to come in?
No.
I remember that door would always swing open to scare everybody. I used to have them. Yeah, I used to have them my senior year for English during 4th period. Yeah. So yeah. So okay. So I was like the only little white kid on my block because I used to stay with my dad on the weekends every weekend. And where my dad lived, there was a gang, and it was like I was cool with the little kids like were my age, but all their brothers and sisters they all gangbanged, right? So basically, where my dad lives, that's all I saw, and where I lived over here with my mom and my grandparents, that's also what I saw, except over here is more of like the Hispanic gangs and the Armenian gangs kind of like beefing it, right? So, okay, when I went to Palmdale, what I saw there I kind of liked more, because you guys used to watch like the real MTV, right, with all the music videos? You know how you like, I'm pretty sure people here like hip-hop, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan, like, believe it or not, fan. And I used to watch the videos, and like they would have like the big white tees and the big baggy pants, and that's how they dressed in Eastside Palmdale too. Like the styles from there and here are different. So what I saw over there, I kind of liked more, and it kind of just caught on to me because I was really young. So you know, when you're young, your mind is a sponge basically. So you know, this little white kid would have like big white tees, big baggy pants, like clean Nike Air Forces, the white ones, with the straps on the side and stuff. But I wouldn't strap it because that was bad, right? So I'd be walking around and they would look at me like, what is this white boy doing here? You know? So I would just be like, yeah, what's up? I'm down, right? And then you guys seen Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that a little bit. Except I wasn't really out there trying to rap. I was just out there. I'm not gonna lie, there was points where I did want to like join a gang because that's all I saw, and they were the ones with like the money and like all the girls. And I've always loved girls since I was young, you know. So I was like, yeah, I want that. So they weren't really accepting, and they would always be like, go back to Hollywood, white boy, and then I'll be like, no, my dad lives right there. And so I would go home, and then when I would go home back to North Hollywood, I would kind of bring back that style over here, and then over here they dress different, like I said, right? So they would look at me and they'd be like, why are you dressing like that? Why are you talking like that? Why are you blah, 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 blah? And I'm just like, I don't know, dude, that's me, like, that's who I am. nah, you're a wannabe, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no, because that's really who I was, you know, like, that's all I knew, basically. So, for some reason, those kids would, like, throw lemons at me. You guys have anybody had lemons hit them?
Yes.
Who?
It hurts.
It does. This is like the first class that actually somebody admitted that. Like, no other class was like, what the hell, lemons? Like, you know. and so they would throw lemons, but like it would keep like hitting my head, and I would just be like, ah, like, you know, and it would hurt. And I'd always like, I'd always try to figure out like how, like how did it hit my head so many times? It's like it's constantly, right? And then I realized I had a big head kind of, so it kind of helped them.
Oh my god.
And so they would always, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cried a lot when I was younger. I heard something go on. Who said that?
I thought you don't cry. I thought your eyes sweat.
Yeah, my eyes sweat, by the way. I don't cry. They just produce a lot of sweat sometimes. So if you guys see me crying, I'm not. It's really hot somewhere, okay? So I would go home and I would cry, except I wouldn't let my mom see me because who would want their mom? Do you guys like your mom when you, or not like your mom? You like your moms, but do you guys like it when your mom see you cry?
No.
Hell no, right? I was like, I'm cool, mom, you know? I use the bathroom, and then I would go to the bathroom, and then I would sweat a lot, right? It's constant, like, oh my god. Okay? So, that's how I got bullied, and then I actually got bullied at this school. My senior year, no, okay, I'm not going to call it bullying, I sound like a little punk, but I got, you know, something happened. You heard about it last time I was here, but you didn't know about it when it was happening, because I didn't really...
It was in the classroom.
Yeah, it was in the I didn't really mention it, because, like, I was usually...
I remember that there was conflict between you and a couple of girls at least, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all I knew.
They would, like, every time, like, literally, I'm telling you, I would raise my hand, and then I would hear, like, oh my god, this guy's raising his hand again, and I would just be like, dude, like... I would sit right here, I sat right here.
Yeah, and one time when he wasn't there, they were
Oh,
like,
you were
I'm
bullied.
glad he's not here, I hate him.
Yeah,
And
I
said,
don't know what
what's that all about? You don't want to know. And I just thought, well, you know.
Okay, because I use Facebook a lot because I get my videos out there and I do all that type of stuff, right? So like, what happens when you don't like somebody on Facebook? What do you usually do?
You block. Unfriend them.
Right? But see, they didn't do that. They just kept having me as a friend. They didn't like it. They didn't like me as a friend on Facebook, but they wouldn't delete me or block me. That's what I'm saying, right? So, well, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, there was a point where because I would make YouTube videos. And because people would ask me for advice, so I stopped typing it because my fingers started hurting. So I would, you know, talk about it, and I'd put it all over Facebook because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to become like YouTube famous because you guys watch Sergio Rasta and like Timothy Day like that, right? I want to be up there with them, so I was like always promote my stuff, blah blah blah. Nobody really did, but you know I still went at it, and so I did it on the senior board. You guys have a senior board here, right, or sophomore board? So I put it on senior board, and I wasn't really cool with a lot of seniors except for my best friends. And so like, as soon as I posted it, one of the girls, she posted a status, and she was like, oh my god, does anybody even like Sean's videos? And that's how I pictured her saying it.
She's in the corner over there.
She sat right there with that girl. What's your name?
Lily.
Where Lily's sitting. Her and the other one. I'm not gonna mention names, but
I think I know what you're talking about.
Of course. The only ones that like beefed it with me for no reason.
We're the mean girls.
So they sat right there, I sat right
Go
here,
ahead.
and like there would always be like stuff happening, right? Like just between us and stuff. But like that one moment, I usually don't let words get to me because when I turned 11, I kind of realized like I love myself, so I'm not gonna let people put me down, you know. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like she just basically posted that status, and when I went here, like I knew a lot of people, right? So I'd walk to different, you know, like the little groups around school. I'd walk into everyone, like, what's up, blah, blah, what's up, what's up? How you doing, blah, 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 right? And then I realized, like, at first I thought, you know, oh, everybody's my friend, right? But you really don't realize who your real friends are until you graduate high school. I'm just letting you know that right now. Because out of all those, like, 50 to 100 people that I was saying what's up to at lunch and whatever, only 5 stuck with me after high school. You know when people are like, oh, we'll keep in touch. Yeah, they didn't keep in touch. You know? And so it's fine, you know. You don't really need a bunch of friends. You need a couple real friends, or maybe even one real friend, because the fake ones will say what's up to you, and then they'll talk smack about you behind your back, which is what they did on that status. All those are like a bunch of people. Yeah, he's annoying. Yeah, blah blah blah. Well, who does he think he is, Dr. Phil, and all that type of stuff, right? Let me just ask you as a personal question: do I resemble Dr. Phil at all?
You're white.
Yeah. Wait. One, best one. Do I resemble Oprah?
A little bit.
Twins.
Check under your seats, you guys. You all have gifts right now. I think it's cool. Okay, so that's my little bullying story. It doesn't sound that bad because like I never really took it that personal, except that night, one senior year. Like I don't know, for some reason that seeing that many people hate on it, it kind of like set me off a little bit, and I started sweating a little bit more, just a little bit. And but that from there, like you guys just gotta realize words are words.
Yep.
That's not true though, right? Because what is everybody always taught? Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you, right? I don't know, I always say it like that. Like I always kind of rhymed it, but that's not true. You know, when they teach that, I never really believed that because sometimes words can cut the deepest. You know, because what happens when you get beat by sticks and stones? What happens after you get injured? Right? But sometimes, words, you can't heal from words, which sucks, right? So what's funny is I was the kid that got bullied, and one of my best friends was actually a bully. Did you guys ever think that could work? Does that sound like it's right? Yeah? I mean, I guess.
No, but your friend was a bully?
He was a bully. I was the kid that got bullied.
By him?
Yeah.
Oh no, I never let him bully me
Oh,
because I
okay.
never knew him at that time. But still,
Oh, okay.
he would not bully me.
Yeah, because he was
So I'm gonna let him come up and share his story, and hopefully that'll get you guys to share your stories too. Okay? So